If you want to instantly improve your handle, do these 5 things. A lot of hoopers think that the key to being able to have a good handle is being able to dribble fast and dribble hard and do 100 different combinations at one time. But in reality, the key to having a good handle is really keeping it simple and knowing how to manipulate the defense, knowing how to change speeds, change pace. You don't need 100 dribbles to be a defender. You really only need about 2 to 3 dribbles. That's why they have those drills where you can only do 3 dribbles or 2 dribbles or maybe even sometimes 1 dribble. So in this video today, I'm going to be showing you 5 ways and explaining 5 ways that you can improve your handle. Let's get into it. So the first thing is establishing a strong base. When we talk about the base, we're talking about our feet and then going on up throughout our body. So we want to make sure we have a strong, nice, wide base, and we want to make sure we're on the toes or balls of our feet so that we can have a little bit of flexibility when dribbling. I'm going to make a video inside this video. I'm going to insert something to show y'all what this looks like as well. Okay, so here you can see I'm setting my base. I have my feet shoulder width apart. And then I'm gonna bend my knees, good little bend like this. And I was talking about playing on the balls of my feet. So instead of me being flat-footed and where I would play on my heels like this, I'm gonna play on almost like my tippy toes with the balls of my feet, which is like right here. So I have a good little bounce. I can like move. I can move like this. Like if I was a boxer, I wouldn't box flat-footed. I would be on the balls of my feet. So that's what I mean by having that strong base and playing on the balls of your feet. So you want to be like that, have a strong, nice base, shoulder width apart. Now you can move. You can move just like if you were playing defense. You have to be able to slide just like that on offense when you're dribbling. Now you can move. You can go up and down, left, right, all that. So you want to have that strong base just like that. Head up, chest up, just like that. Just like if you was playing defense. If you was playing defense, it would be just like this. So you have that same stance when dribbling. So now you got that strong base. You can do what you have to do. You can move. So now if I'm coming down, if I want to change speeds, I'm on the balls of my feet. This is allowing me to be able to do all these little things, all these little footwork things, because I'm on the balls of my feet. If I was on my heels, then doing this it wouldn't work. So being on the balls of my feet gives me that movement. Now I can just do these little things because I'm on the balls of my feet. So stay on the balls of your feet. Keep that nice wide base so you can move. But we want to make sure we have our knees bent, and we want to make sure our chest and our head is looking up. We want to make sure we're able to scan the floor with our eyes. That's why we want to have our head up so we can scan the floor, see what's happening in front of us, see what our defender is doing, things like that. So make sure we have that strong base. Also, when we talk about establishing the foundation or base, we want to also make sure when we're practicing with both hands, with the right hand and the left hand. So we don't want to be weak with either hand. We want to try to be as equally as strong as possible. So we want to make sure we're practicing with both hands so that we can develop that muscle memory and be able to dribble whatever direction or however we have to based on how the defender plays us. So overall, with the foundation, we just want to stay consistent. Make sure we keep on practicing the fundamentals, practicing the regular pound dribbles. We don't have to be able to dribble extremely hard, but we want to make sure we're able to pound the ball pretty solid and then have that wide base so we're not getting knocked off balance, because defenders, once we try to drive by them or when we're just dribbling in front of them, they might try to hand check us, they might try to put an elbow on us or something, try to knock us off balance. And all the time it's not going to be a foul, especially if you're trying to drive by them and you're engaging in the contact too. You want to also be on balance. So make sure you have a nice wide balanced base so the defender can't knock you off your balance and they can't knock you off your path. So keep that foundation, make it strong. Key number 2 is don't overcomplicate it. I said this in the intro. You don't have to dribble 1,000 times to be able to beat a defender. You really only need about 2 to 3 dribbles. Make sure you don't overcomplicate your dribble or trying to beat a defender. You really only need 3 dribbles, like I said. So that may be a between the legs. You start dribble by them, that's 2 dribbles, and then maybe a dribble into them for the 3rd dribble. Now you should be inside your gather steps or whatever, or your hop steps or whatever. So you don't need that many dribbles. Once you start to do too much, that's when you start to make mistakes. That's when you start to lose the ball, and defenders start to knock you off your balance, and it just gets bad because of that, because you're trying to do too much. Keep it simple. A lot of times the defender will give you something. They'll give you an angle or they'll give you a lane, whatever, and you just don't take it because you're trying to overcomplicate it. Just Keep it simple. You don't have to do too much. So when we're practicing these things, we want to make sure we're practicing in game-like grips and making sure we're efficient with this. So even if we're by ourselves, let's say we have a chair in front of us and we're trying to drive by the chair, only use 2 dribbles to get by the chair, and then use your gathers or whatever, or your hop steps or whatever you got to do like that. But make sure you're practicing in a game-like manner and keeping it efficient. A lot of times I see players waste dribbles. We don't want to waste those dribbles. We want to make sure we're dribbling effective. Each dribble should have a meaning. So if we're trying to drive by somebody, we should really have no wasted dribbles where we're just standing there or just dribbling, because that allows for the defender to recover. We don't want to let the defender recover, because now they're back into play. We can't drive by them, wasting time on the clock, you know, things like that. We can't score. They recovered now. So we don't want to allow that defender to recover. So don't waste any dribbles. Use every dribble wisely. Make every dribble count. Like I said with practice, if you practicing one-on-one, let's do one-on-one full court maybe. Or if you're doing one-on-one or king of the court, just do 3 dribbles or something. I even had to practice one-on-one full court, and we only had about a certain amount of dribbles. So maybe like 8 dribbles, then we went down to 7, then 6, so on and so on. So just try different things like that. You can practice like that. Just keep it simple. Try to just be efficient with every dribble move. I really like the drills where you only do 3 dribbles, because it forces you to be efficient with each dribble move. Because with 3 dribbles, if you're not efficient with one of them, then the defender's going to recover and your shot's going to end up getting blocked, or you're just going to have a horrible shot or something like that. You're not going to be able to get to a good shot. So use those 3 dribbles effective. So those drills where you only can use 3 dribbles, or maybe 2 dribbles, or maybe even 4 dribbles sometimes, those will help you develop your handle a whole lot. Step number 3 is to add pace and rhythm to your dribble. So when we talk about pace and rhythm, we don't want to go at the same speed over and over again. We don't want to always go slow, and we don't want to always go fast. So when we talk about pace, we maybe want to speed the pace up a little bit. Play with some pace. That means speed it up a little bit. If the defender is just sitting on it, let's say we're just dribbling there, they're going to sit on that. They're waiting on us to make a move. Let's speed it up. Let's play with a little bit of pace. Let's say we're coming down court, and let's just try to beat them initially. Let's just try to blow right by them, and then let's stop on a dime, maybe change up the speed a little bit. So just play with a little bit of pace and then change up the speed. Again, the whole goal is to be able to throw the defender off of balance and not let him guess what we're going to do. We don't have to be able to use 100 dribbles to do that. It really only takes about 2 to 3. So changing that speed, changing that pace is going to be a huge key to being able to throw that defender off balance. Also, being able to use change of heights. If we can change our chest height or our hip height, or in football they would say the pad level, changing that pad level, that helps throw the defender off. The same thing with basketball. Drop those hips low, keep them go high, low, change that height, change those speeds, change of pace. That is going to be a huge key to being able to beat defenders and having a good handle. Also, you want to use hesitations. These hesitations are going to help you throw off the defender as well, and those are a great dribble move or great moves to be able to learn. That also goes hand in hand with being shifty. When we talk about being shifty, all that is just being able to change speeds, change height, change directions, whenever, wherever, quick, just like that. So if you want to be able to be shifty with those dribble moves, you got to be able to change those speeds, change those heights, be able to go from the left hand to the right hand in a quick second, or be able to stop on a dime and then go right back to being able to dribble fast. So that is what shiftiness is. That's what helps be able to break those defenders down, and that's when those little ankle breakers and all of that starts to happen. Step number 4, you want to make sure you connect your feet to your handle. So we often hear footwork, but players don't really know what that means. But footwork is definitely a huge key to being able to dribble. If your feet aren't in coordination with your dribble moves or with your hands and hand-eye coordination with all of that, if that's not all together, you're gonna have a hard time dribbling. So you want to be able to make sure you want to be able to use your feet when you're dribbling. So for me, a huge change when I was dribbling is I used to dribble on the back of my feet or the heels of my feet, but then I started to use the balls of my feet. Like I said in the beginning, with that base, you want to be on the balls of your feet. Being on the balls of my feet helped me become a little bit more bouncy. It let me, when I say bouncy, not jumping bouncy, but it allowed me to be able to move. It allowed me to be able to go left to right, change direction, stop on a dime. So you want to be able to use your feet. And then let's say you're dribbling, you have to change direction. Mastering that footwork to change directions on a between the legs, or mastering that footwork to be able to change directions on a behind the back. These are the things that we're talking about with footwork. Just knowing what your feet are going to do once you do a certain move, so that you're not wasting those movements and wasting those dribbles. So let's say you're doing it behind the back. A behind the back, you may need just 2 steps to get the move done. I'll try to demonstrate that in a video, but you may need like 2 or 3 steps to be able to get the move done. So being able to master that footwork, so now you're not taking those extra 3 steps and 4 steps to try to get the behind the back, because again, now that allows the defender to recover, and we don't want to let the defender recover. You want to make sure your feet are in sync with your hands when dribbling. And step number 5 is being able to train under pressure. You want to make sure you're doing drills and things that are under pressure. So maybe you want to go outside and do jump ropes and then dribble, or go outside and just do run in place. You may not have the equipment to do jump ropes, so just run in place, then do a couple jumping jacks, do a couple push-ups, and then do a little dribbling workout. And then every 2 minutes you do some jumping jacks. But you got to be able to train under pressure, because being able to dribble under pressure is going to be a huge key to being able to say that, yeah, I have a good handle. On the higher levels, as you get to go higher and higher, those defenders are not going to let you just dribble and stand there in place. They're going to put pressure on the ball. They're going to try to make you make a mistake. So being able to dribble under this pressure is going to help you a whole lot. We see on lower levels, they play a lot of zone defense because they know that the opponents can't really shoot as well. And then if they try to dribble, they're going to have to dribble into 2 people. That's because they know if that offensive player dribbles into 2 people, they're most likely going to make a mistake on those lower levels. So as you get higher and higher in basketball, you have to be able to dribble under pressure. We see it all the time in the NBA with things like blitzes, or on those pick and rolls when they blitz the ball handler. If you have a good ball handler or a good playmaker like Luka, they may blitz him on every screen, and now he's dribbling with 2 people on him. But you don't see him just making mistakes. You don't see him just panicking. He stays composed, and he makes sure he's able to dribble under that pressure and make the right decision quickly. So being able to train under that pressure, dribble under that pressure, is going to be a huge key. So with your drills, you want to just make sure you add in fatigue to your drills, or add quick decision making drills and cues that you have to follow in your drills. So maybe you have a person in front of you and you have a red cone and a white cone. You want to dribble for a second and then have that person shout out a cone, and you got to go touch that cone and be back in your spot within 2 seconds. And then after that, do some jumping jacks. I'm just yelling out stuff, shouting out ideas, but these are different things you can try to do, and just get creative with it and try to practice under that pressure. Now, I know I said the last key was the final key, but you know I have to have some mental aspects into it. I always preach the mental side of the game. You have to be able to be confident in your dribble in order to have a good handle. If you're not confident in that dribble move, let's say you want to do it between the legs, you're more likely to lose the ball if you're not confident in it than if you are confident in it. So make sure you keep in that confidence in your dribble moves, and be confident that you can break down any defender, that you can do any move. But that confidence also comes from practicing it. So make sure you're practicing these moves. Constantly practice them. Just practice 1 or 2 moves a day, and then move on to the next 2 moves. And let's say master a move a week, just one move a week. Master that move a week, then now you're building that confidence, and so now you can do it in game and you're not thinking about it. So keep that confidence, make sure your mental side is correct, and you're going to be good. So there you have it. Those are the 5 keys that can help you improve your ball handle. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, please comment. Let me know what more videos y'all want to see. Appreciate y'all.